Welcome to the program, Amba, This Week. Block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood's introduction is the most efficient form of guerrilla warfare and has proven to be the most effective strategy to prosecute the war against Cameroon's occupation. Ever since its introduction, it has limited the casualties on the side of Ambazonia Nationalist fighters in huge numbers, while damaging the invincibility of Cameroon's forces, spreading them all over Amba land. Paul Biya's army, after losing 5,000 and more soldiers, is in the same position like that of the Duke of Old, the Grand Duke of York, who had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill and marched them down again with no success. When they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. When they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. Complete failure. So now they had to devise another game plan. Thus led to the rise of Ambazonians and enablers. Destroy the house from within. Cameroon calls Ambazonia freedom fighters criminals because they have proclaimed the independence of Ambazonia and set up national institutions to run their affairs, thereby distancing themselves from Cameroon's occupation and exploitation. Ambazonians, who are enablers and infiltrators of Cameroon, call Ambazonia freedom fighters criminals because they have been paid to destroy Ambazonia from within. Hence, they are angry that Ambazonia freedom fighters are making it difficult for them to earn the salary for which they have been paid to perform their dirty job. Ambazonia freedom fighters say that Ambazonia is for Ambazonians. Hence, Cameroon and her agents should leave Ambazonia. But Ambazonians insist that Cameroon and her agents still have a place in Ambazonia because Ambazonia has not been liberated yet. Ambazonians insist on no Cameroon vehicle number plates in Ambazonia. Ambazonians say this measure will increase criminality, thus they campaign for the maintenance of the Cameroon vehicle number plates. Ambazonia freedom fighters pass an order that all companies in Ambazonia should pay liberation taxes and rename their companies with Ambazonia as the country in which they are operating. Ambazonians say that we are not supposed to be collecting taxes because we have not yet liberated the homeland. They are comfortable with Camwater, Hizakam, Camtel, MTN Cameroon, etc. Company staffs collecting taxes from our people are arrested, and Ambazonians say they should not be arrested because they are just trying to do their job to earn their daily bread. Ambazonia freedom fighters stop Hizakam, a foreign monopoly company, from pretending to be collecting refuse from Bamenda and reaping billions of francs, doing no work as our people go without jobs and the councils go bankrupt. But Ambazonians say we should stop disturbing the company because it is cleaning the town. They run anti-revolutionary campaigns in support of Hizakam, but fail. Ambazonia freedom fighters succeed to kick out Hizakam and engage local companies to clean the town, thus giving jobs back to our people and improving on their livelihoods. Ambazonia freedom fighters insist that only community schools following Ambazonia's curriculum of education should operate in Ambazonia. But Ambazonians say no. We are to allow Cameroon-run schools in Ambazonia. So what was the purpose of the school boycott and the revolution in the first place? Ambazonians want us to go back to our vomit. Ambazonians cannot distinguish between a freedom fighter and an anti-revolutionary agent or an enabler of genocide because they do the same work with them. When Cameroon terrorists, whom they fondly call soldiers, kill Ambazonians, they celebrate and come out to share the pictures. When Ambazonian forces kill Cameroon's genocide perpetrators and their enablers, Ambazonians come out to speak against inhumane activities of the Ambazonia freedom fighters. Ambazonia freedom fighters say no to Cameroon's taxation in Ambazonia without development, but Ambazonians remain mute. Ambazonia freedom fighters levy taxes on their people in liberated areas in order to raise funds and run local liberation affairs and maintain peace and order. Ambazonians put up a sustained campaign against it while providing no alternative for them to raise money after they had worked closely with embezzlers of huge liberation funds to ruin the war chase. It is clear from the activities of Ambazonians that they don't want Ambazonia to be free or independent and prosperous. When you see a Ambazonian, tell them who they are. Let them go and join Cameroon openly instead of pretending that they are speaking for you while opening entry roads for Cameroon to occupy our homeland and continue their genocide against our people forever and ever. There is joy in the camp of Ambazonians and sadness on the side of Ambazonia Nationalist for one of the most eloquent communicators who doubled as deputy of the ADF and spokesperson for the AGovC, Daniel, has resigned from both key posts of responsibility. It came with a shock on the 8th of April. Communication came from the office of the leader of the Ambazonia War of Liberation, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, who stated he had accepted Mr. Ngong Daniels' resignation, thanking him for his service to the nation. The great question of the day is why Mr. Daniel will resign at such a time that the people needed him the most. He was very effective in his style of communication, stood firmly against Ambazonians, openly attacked La République du Cameroun schemes against our people, built a firewall against lies, propaganda, anti-revolutionary activities, tribalism, nepotism, and the wicked black man syndrome. The following is an interview I had with Daniel on his reasons for resigning. Mr. Daniel, did you resign or you were fired?
Yes, I did resign from my position, both from the Governing Council and the Ambazonian Defense Forces. I tendered my resignation on the 8th of Saturday.
What is the reason for your resignation?
For the past 5 months, we have had divergence within the organization vis-a-vis highly classified and sensitive issues. And those divergences have accumulated with other issues that made it almost impossible for me to continue to mount the positions I was handling within the organization. And it reached a critical stage this past week, and I just had to step down from those positions so that I can better serve the country. The reasons why I resign have been handled within the organization. The various cycles of power have been fully briefed about these situations, and the content of which are very sensitive and are still classified and will not serve the organization or our liberation any good to be made public. So I would not be commenting on the content about what happened.
Many are asking, is Daniel still part of the revolution, or are you leaving the revolution for good? This is a pertinent question out there.
I am not leaving the liberation war. As you know very well, there is a difference between the liberation and the various organizations. The organizations are a vehicle, a very effective vehicle for which we can channel our efforts effectively for the liberation. These are two different things. The Ambazonian War for Freedom is different from the various organizations. So just because I resigned from the organization does not mean I'm going to abandon the liberation of Ambazonia. I will continue to fight and advocate for Ambazonia, continue to support best practices as we pursue this cause for our freedom. I will only double my effort, and I will also be transforming my current platform into a non-communal organization so that I can formally be able to advocate for Ambazonian self-determination in that new platform. That will not be duplicating the AGovC or the ADF, but it will just be enabling me to be able to do what I've been doing, especially in the area of human rights. The Ambazonian liberation war as a whole would have suffered a deadly blow 2 years ago when Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International were eyeing publications made by Cameroon and was trying to tag the liberation war as an extremist fight. I suffered a lot in that regard to fight off those negative tags and to defend the cause of our people very effectively. That was something that I did by myself, and those are things that I believe the organization will need as well in the future. So the new platform that I'm going to create will be legally registered so that I can be effective in those areas. And there are other areas as well, the networks I've generated and the unique role I play, which I cannot stop. I will continue to play those roles without the former capacity of the organization. Those are very essential role that I play that I think that I must continue to do for my country.
What advice do you have for the Ambazonian people at this critical stage of the liberation war?
My advice for our people at this critical juncture is to remain focused and to understand that the very nature of a democratic society that we seek to establish will require divergence of view at many critical stages. So people should not be confused and should be very careful not to be taken advantage of by the enemy when we have differences. Because what will happen is that the enemy will come in with misinformation, mischaracterization in order to discourage our people and to dampen the spirit of resistance. Our people should not fall into this trap. We have sacrificed so much to look back. A lot of water have gone under the bridge, and my advice to our people is that they should remain focused, just as we, the leaders, are focused. Despite our differences or setbacks, we remain committed to this cause. And our people should be reminded of what is written in our national anthem. Our allegiance is to our fallen heroes to make sure that the ultimate price they have paid for our freedom should not go in vain. I will continue to uphold those principles and the various principles that have come to embody within the life of our country. Until freedom is attained, there is no retreat and there will be no surrender.
Reports coming in is that Cameroon soldiers have surrounded Momo, Bui, and Gokatunja, trying to fight the nationalist forces and capture their leaders. We will keep you updated on events about the war for liberation of the people of Ambazonia on this program, Amba, This Week.
We are in battle.